Hi, welcome to Spirits of Fashion. My name is Ren, and I'm going to be doing some YouTube videos every other week about senior style. So think, women over 50 who start to feel a little invisible and, feel that their personal style has changed, but they're not sure to what. So that's my job when I do my fashion era presentations. Sometimes I talk about the history of fashion, but other times I do styling with vintage and thrifted clothing. So I'm going to be talking about the senior style this week, and next week we'll get into some more history. I've got my mocha drink. Last week I talked about how I make a hot coffee with mocha or chocolate syrup and milk, and it's terrific and a lot cheaper than what you can buy at the local coffee shop. This week it's chilled, and what it is just leftover coffee from the morning that I have refrigerated and then added the same ingredients to that. It's wonderful. So that's what I'm drinking today. So what I'm going to be doing today is just having a short video about simple ways to add vintage to your wardrobe and help you determine what your personal style is. As I mentioned last week, I'm not a big trend follower at this age. I like what I like. Most of my items are thrifted and many of them are vintage, and I like to mix them high and low or with old with new meaning something usually that I've thrifted. So I have a whole outfit on today, and I'll put a shot up there on the screen of the whole outfit. But basically it's thrifted pants, which are a cargo pant, this lovely thermal top, but still okay for the warmer months. It's a little cooler up here in Vermont today, which is terrific. And then a thrifted belt and even thrifted gold Liz Claiborne sneakers. And this is a vintage hat. And the reason I wore this today is because I wanted to talk about a couple of things I've seen in the magazines. I like to do that for the fall in particular because it's my time of year. So fall and winter fashions are my favorites. And I like to look and see what's trending just so I can see if I have anything like it in my wardrobe. We put this big thing down here. And we'll talk about that. There was one let me make sure, it's the September Harper's Bazaar issue. And I spotted that, hats are going to be big again. I use hats all the time for personal style. I love them. And it's really easy to find vintage hats at relatively great prices. Even buying a new hat today at Target, for example, can sometimes be more expensive than finding a really well-made vintage one. So here, if you see, there is a beret here. And because leopard is in, and I think that's the page before, yes, they're talking about, now leopard always comes back in the fall. I don't think there's ever been a fall season without leopard being popular. But they give you hats, they give you coats, bags, boots, great stuff. I bought a pair of leopard inspired booties a couple of years ago at Goodwill. They had missized it and they happened to be my size. I got them for $5 and I love them. And so that's something I will wear more in the fall. But what I did was I mixed the leopard with the hat suggestion and found that beret right there. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of add the vintage beret to my outfit. I also like to add high-low. This is a really nice vintage rhinestone piece, which I wanted to sort of bring out these little rhinestone buttons with. Same with the earrings. And this was my grandmother's ring. This is from the early 20th century, probably the 20s, I would say, which is an onyx with a diamond chip. So it just sort of all works together, in my opinion. And the other beret I have was given to me by a friend, and it was I believe it was her grandmother's, and it reminded me of this very one because it has an edging, if you can see. It looks like some beading on there, or maybe just some gold studs, very small studs. But it reminded me of this true vintage one, which has pearls instead. And it's just a black beret, but I've worn this many times. It's really warm because it's wool. So even if you're afraid to wear any other vintage, start with a hat, and that's an easy way to not feel too scared about going into that realm if you've never done it before. The other thing I found interesting was this ad in the September Vogue magazine, and look at this bag. It looks like it's Bottega Veneta, right here. You see the detail on that bag? Well, I got a vintage bag at the thrift store a few months ago that looks very similar to it, doesn't it? Same kind of clasp. And it is a Paris bag. Looks like letter A, letter Air. It's Leder. And I'm going to unclasp it for you and show you that tag if I can. Hope you can see that. And that business opened in, I think it was 1885, and it was sold in 2011. I'm not sure if they're still running, but this is a vintage patent leather bag with that same clasp of that very expensive bag that was in the Vogue September issue. So I think that's really fun. That's a challenge for me to say, I bet I have something or I can find something, and this that looks just like or very like the new one in the magazines, and this only cost me $2 at the time. So very exciting. I love doing it. I want to be able to help those of you who are really struggling with personal style. And I've talked to my audiences before about feeling invisible and, it just feeling like, geez, my style has become so boring. And especially somebody like me who lives up in Vermont. I love the country. It's beautiful, but you don't find a lot of people dressing up around here because it's just not the lifestyle. But when I go to the thrift store that I have to go to very shortly, I volunteer there. My husband is the manager. And if I do wear something different, people love it. They all comment on it. So just because not everybody's doing it doesn't mean that they don't admire a personal style that's different from what they would wear normally. And I think it inspires them, and I try to make sure that they can come to me with those kinds of questions. And I want to be able to do more of that virtually as well. I do have a website, and I'll put that up here. It's spiritsoffashion.com. And there's a monthly newsletter there, but I'd also like to give out some freebies to people. So I'm going to set up something on the website so that you can sign up to receive those as well. And as I mentioned, I want to help as many people as possible, women and men, who feel sort of stuck in their style. And it's not limited to seniors, but I always feel that women 50 and over have a tougher time trying to find what makes them feel good and what makes them feel not necessarily younger. It's not about looking younger. It's about looking bolder and looking confident. So that's why I am naming this playlist Older and Bolder. So we're going to work on this together, and I'm happy to take any suggestions in the comments. If you have anything you'd like to ask me or anything that you would like me to make a video about, whether it's vintage, thrifting, any kind of historic era, please let me know in the comments. And I will be back every Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with a new video. Next week, we'll be talking about history, but I hope that I've inspired you to even find one item in your closet or at a thrift store or wherever you shop that makes you happy, that resonates with you, that just makes you say, you know what, it's worth the risk. I love this and I want to try it. So please do that. And I promise you won't be disappointed. You will love the whole experience. So I will see you all next week. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and have a great week. See you next time. Bye.